We're going to do a quick brew on the Aeropress today, but I'm going to suggest we do it the inverted method. I actually prefer the inverted way. I find it's easier, so I'm going to talk you through that. Our recipe, we're using our Brazilian coffee, beautiful coffee, peanut butter, chocolate, fig, very consistent coffee. This one's actually from Fazenda Pinhal. It's won a number of prizes in Brazil for being the most environmentally sound farm in the whole of the country, which is amazing for a country that's the biggest producer of coffee in the world. So, inverted method, I've already ground my coffee out. I've got 12 grams, so we always work off the 60 gram a litre filter coffee rule. So I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to go 12 grams for 200 millilitres of water. If you've got a temperature controlled kettle, great. If you've just got a traditional kettle, take it to the boiling point, lift the lid off and allow 30 to 60 seconds of that heat to disappear. Close that lid and you're probably about ready to go. We want about 90 degrees for an Aeropress. So take the Aeropress and just put your plunger in the bottom of the vessel. So you're creating your own vessel by doing like that. You put your stopper in the bottom. I'm then going to put my ground coffee in the bottom. Of course, it's quite a narrow chamber, so you have to be careful not to make a mess. You've got less room to play with. Just try and make sure you've got a nice flat, even bed of coffee. Always a good place to start with filter coffee. Place that on the scales. The reason I'm placing that on the scales is because I'm going to do it in 2 bursts of 90 seconds. And I'm going to introduce 200 millilitres of water. 100 ml in 90 seconds, small break, another 100 ml. So let's start with 100 ml, and I'm going to start the timer and try and get the coffee evenly wet, evenly distributed. You're talking about a really small space to pour into. So that's a little bit more tricky. I'll give it a slight agitation here, just a small swirl. You can go over the top with the agitations and the swirls and the amount of times you do it and whatnot. We've introduced the first 100 ml. At the 90-second mark, I'm going to introduce another 100 ml, and we're going to wait till we get to the 3 minutes. Okay, so as we approach the 90-second mark, I'm going to put in another 100 ml of hot water. So before we put a lid on it, we're going to take our filter paper. This is all brewing away nicely as the coffee steeps with the hot water. Put my filter paper in the gauze. Ideally, you might want to just wet that filter paper with a little drop of water. Main reason, it's going to wash away any papery flavour, and also it helps to stick it to the filter. I'm going to put that cap on the top, and when we hit the magic 3 minutes, it's time to flip it and plunge it. So it's 3 minutes now, we're going to flip it over. It's obviously going to start extracting straight away, and we can just plunge. And by adding that pressure, we're speeding up that extraction. It's moving it from a steeped coffee into a percolated coffee by adding that pressure. For me, the best part of an Aeropress is just so tidy at the end. It's condensed now into a coffee puck. You can unscrew that, take off the filter, and just pop it into the bin. Quick wash, quick rinse, that's good to go again. And that's why it's such a popular design. Enjoy!